Thank you. I really want to thank everybody who came down tonight. Some people came who I didn't expect. Some people came from a long way away. That they're expecting me to be funny. I hope I can be funny. So, here we go. All right. Well, my name is Rebecca Jean Lehman Migdal Rory Kalichaslan, and I am a serial monogamist.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's true. I am addicted to marrying the wrong man. And I have learned something from my mistakes. I've learned something that I can pass along to you, those of you in the audience who are ladies or who are considering getting married to a man, not necessarily a lady, and planning on not getting divorced. And that is that when you get married and you take your husband's name, it's like swallowing, okay? Because if you do it the first time, you have to do it every single time after that. There's no getting out of it. So yes, that was my first joke. Right, well, I have had 3 husbands. I've been married 3 times, and I've had 1 husband from each of the major Judeo-Christian religions. And the first one's name was Abraham. Abraham, no, not really. The Judeo-Christian and something else religions, we call them the Abrahamic religions now. And so I have had 1 husband from each of the Abrahamic religions. That would be Jewish, Muslim, and the Church of Rock and Roll. And after my 3rd husband and I split up, my friends assumed that it was because I had married a Muslim, and that, there's these cultural differences, and, Western woman, Turkish man, a recipe for disasters, and so on and so forth. But I'm here to tell you that my marriages all broke up for the same reason. And that was because I married men who were emotionally challenged, okay? That's something I think that a lot of us can identify with, emotionally challenged men. Not all men are emotionally challenged, but I married men who could not talk about their feelings. They could not talk about the relationship. They just couldn't talk about it. It was impossible for them to have a conversation, in a reasonable way about what was going on. And that creates problems. And I realized at a certain point that it wasn't their fault. There's actually a scientific reason for this difficulty. And you may not be aware of this, but this is a true story. There is an effect of high level of testosterone on the brain. And high levels of testosterone actually destroy the connective tissue between the right brain and the left brain. Did you know that? Think about that. So what you've got here is you've got the right brain, which is where all the feelings are, and also, interestingly, the spatial stuff, the ability to fix things and everything. And then you've got the left brain, which is where the reason and the language skills are, and the capacity to ask for directions, and they're not talking to each other. In a lot of cases, they're just the 2 sides of the brain are not having a conversation. So you end up with, and by the way, any women in here who are pregnant right now, I recommend that you smoke a whole lot of marijuana right now.
Hey, how are you?
So that you can reduce your testosterone level and you can save your child from this terrible malady. Because it results in little boys who, hug their trucks. They cradle their trucks. They have this love object. It's a machine. It's completely understandable, and then they grow up to be the killer toaster man. Now, I actually was in a relationship with the killer toaster man, and he loved his toaster more than life itself. He really did. I mean, he would buy these old appliances, and he would fix them up. And this toaster was a monster. It was really evil. The toaster was in this ancient Westinghouse, and as soon as you put a piece of toast in there and press the button, it was all metal, and it would get electrified. It would be as electrified as the fence at Guantanamo. You could not touch this toaster. Now, while it's like sending out these electric sparks, suddenly flames are spurting from the top of the toaster, and the only way to get the toast out before it becomes a cinder is to find a wooden implement, jab it in there, and fling the toast across the room as it's like flaming, right? And I would be like, get rid of the toaster, for God's sake! You're gonna burn the house down! This thing is like, it's just terrifying. And he'd be like, that's a great toaster. I can fix it. He was so attached to this toaster, and it was really, it was frightening. It was a frightening thing.